Sit back and enjoy the story. Kindly like, share, and comment for more. Title: The Fisherman's Secret Catch. The sun rose over Mzolo, a small fishing village nestled between the rugged cliffs of the Eastern Cape and the restless Indian Ocean. Waves crashed against the rocky shore, where wooden boats bobbed in the shallows, their hulls painted in fading blues and reds. The village itself was a cluster of rondavels with thatched roofs, their walls painted in bright ochre and white, surrounded by sandy paths and patches of wild grass. The air smelled of salt and fish, mingled with the smoke of early morning fires. Oza, a fisherman in his late 30s, was known for his quiet demeanor and steady hands. He rowed out before dawn, his boat creaking under the weight of his nets. That morning, as he cast his net near the jagged rocks of Umalanga Point, he felt a heavy tug. Expecting a large fish, he pulled with all his might, only to haul up a golden chest, its surface encrusted with barnacles, but gleaming in the sunlight. His heart raced as he pried it open, revealing a baby inside, wrapped in a tattered cloth. The child's eyes opened, and a voice, far too deep for an infant, spoke. "I am Prince Tabo, the lost son of King Metunzi." Oza's hands trembled. King Metunzi ruled a wealthy inland kingdom, and his son had vanished years ago, presumed dead. If this was true, Oza's life would change forever. He rode back to Mazolo, the baby cradled in his arms, unaware of the storm his discovery would unleash. By midday, the news spread like wildfire through Mizolo. The central square, a wide clearing with a massive baobab tree at its heart, buzzed with excitement. Villagers gathered, their colorful head wraps and beaded necklaces glinting in the sun. Oza stood beneath the baobab, holding the child aloft, his weathered face beaming with pride. "This is Prince Tabo," he declared. "The gods have returned him to us." The village elder, Mama Nombuso, a stooped woman with a face like carved ebony, examined the child. "He has the king's eyes," she murmured, tracing a birthmark on the baby's shoulder, a crescent moon, the royal mark. The crowd erupted in cheers, chanting prayers to the ancestors. Oza's wife, Noza, a sharp-eyed woman with a quick temper, stood beside him, her smile tight. She whispered to Oza, "Something's not right. Babies don't speak." Oza brushed her off, drunk on the village's adoration. Messengers were sent to King Inthunzi's palace, and plans for a grand celebration began. But Noza's unease grew, her gaze lingering on the child's unblinking stare. That night, Oza and Noza sat in their rondavel, a modest home with a thatched roof and walls painted with geometric patterns in red and black. A single oil lamp cast flickering shadows on the clay floor. The baby, or Prince Tabo, lay in a woven basket, silent but watchful. Noza paced, her wrapper swishing with each step. "Oza, this isn't a child," she hissed. It spoke like a man. "We need to know the truth." Oza, still clinging to his dreams of reward, snapped, "You're jealous of our fortune." But Noza's words gnawed at him. He agreed to keep watch over the baby that night. Hours passed, and just as Oza's eyes began to droop, the child sat up. In the dim light, Oza saw its limbs stretch unnaturally, its body shrinking into the form of a dwarf, a man no taller than a toddler, with a sly grin and eyes like polished obsidian. "Who are you?" Oza stammered, his voice trembling. The dwarf chuckled. "I'm Zakes, a thief. I've been using you, Fisherman, to get into the king's palace. That chest, a propriedad. The birthmark, painted. I'll be gone with the king's gold before you can blink." Oza lunged, but Zakis was too quick, slipping out the window into the night. Oza's shout woke Noza, and together they realized the depth of the deception and the danger they now faced. The next morning, Oza and Noza tracked Zakes to Umhlanga Point, where the ocean roared against the cliffs. The jagged rocks glistened with spray, and gulls circled overhead, their cries echoing like warnings. Zakes stood at the cliff's edge, a sack of stolen goods at his feet, items he'd taken from the village in the night. "You've ruined us," Oza roared, his fists clenched. "The king's men are coming, and they'll think we're the thieves." Zakes smirked, his small frame unbowed. "You wanted riches, Fisherman. I gave you a story. Blame your own greed. Noza stepped forward, her eyes blazing. You'll pay for this. But before she could act, hoofbeats thundered in the distance. King Mitonzi's guards, alerted by the messengers, were approaching. Zakes laughed, ready to flee. But Noza had a plan. She whispered to Oza, "Let me handle this." As the guards arrived, Noza spun a tale. Zakes was a sorcerer who'd bewitched them, forcing them to present him as the prince. The guards, superstitious and wary, seized Zakes, who cursed and spat as they bound him. But the scandal was far from over. King Minthunzi's palace was a fortress of stone and wood, its walls adorned with carvings of leopards and ancestors surrounded by acacia trees and rolling hills. Oza and Noza were summoned before the king, a towering man with a crown of gold and a gaze that could pierce stone. The throne room was filled with courtiers, their whispers like a swarm of bees. Zakes, now in chains, glared at Oza and Noza. The king demanded the truth, and Zakes confessed his scheme, expecting Oza to take the fall. But Noza stepped forward, her voice steady. "My lord, there's more. I orchestrated this." The court gasped. Osa's jaw dropped. Noza revealed her plan. She'd known Zakes was a thief from the start, having seen him in the village months ago. She'd planted the idea of the golden chest, hoping to use Zakes to steal the king's crown, a treasure she believed would secure her family's future. The twist? The crown Zakes stole was a fake. Oza, years ago, had sold the real one to a merchant to pay off debts, a secret he'd kept even from Nosa. King Matunzi, amused by the layers of deceit, spared their lives but banished them from the kingdom. Zakes was imprisoned, his dreams of gold shattered. Oza and Noza returned to Mizolo, their bond strained but intact, their dreams of wealth replaced by a hard-earned lesson. Weeks later, Oza stood on Mzolo's shoreline, the dawn painting the ocean in hues of pink and gold. The village had moved on, the scandal a fading memory. Noza joined him, her hand slipping into his. "We're better off without crowns," she said softly. Oza nodded, casting his net into the waves. This time, he caught only fish, but that was enough.
This is the end of the story. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. See you in the next video. Thank you.